Hi gamers, friends of Party Meeple, and people who have clicked on this link accidentally. It's Andrew, and I'm just going to take a bit of time to chat about how I do board game prototypes. I've designed games for ages. Here's my board game design directory on my computer. Each of these folders has a barely completed or even partially even started game idea. And as you can see, there's a few of them that are actually already available for print and play. Anything I design will always be free to print and play, regardless of whether it's published or not. Because like if you're going to put the effort in to make your own stuff, I respect that. Anyway, the current game I'm working on at the moment was an idea I had last October. A way to play a game on a train or an aeroplane where you don't have a table, so you're limited by real estate. So the game is actually played with bags. Each player has one on their wrist, and there's another one that's passed around, which you may as well call the draw deck. Like imagine a card game where you don't need a table. And in doing this, I needed to make some tiles, which you can see here. And obviously when you're doing a tile, you want the border around the edge of the tile to like be reasonably even. I've got it a bit wrong on this one, but in some of the other ones, let's see here, like this one's worked out okay. So the way I make these tiles is with a self-adhesive sticker sheet that I print out and I put on both sides of a piece of card, which I think looks most part of a millimetre thick, maybe 0.7 or something. I should have got some verniers and measured it. Maybe I'll measure it and put something in text down here. When I'm doing playing cards for games, like normal shuffle, deal cards, I do the same thing, but instead of using cardstock in the middle that's thick, I print one side of the card on like some 200 gram paper, heavy paper. We'll call it heavy paper, even though it's probably card, and then use the sticker sheet on the other side. So because you have two layers, you can't see through the cards. And once again, this method I will show you is a pretty good way of getting both sides reasonably lined up. As Mark from Self-Sufficient Me says, link underneath, he's another channel I follow. Let's get into it. So here's the card that I like to use. You can get this on eBay. I usually buy it in a pack of, 20 or 30 sheets. When you're making board games, use a fair bit of it. And this is a sticker sheet. Once again, I buy these in a pack at my local office supplies shop in Australia, but I'm sure you can get them pretty much anywhere. It just has a thin border around it. When you print out your art, you need to make sure that like the left and right sides, are actually left and right, because you're going to reverse one sheet over so that, the left will become the right and the right will become left when you stick the two things back to back. Obviously, if you're printing out someone else's game to play, then they hopefully have done this for you and got all this right. I try to do it on my files. Anyway, we've already put one sheet on the bit of card, so now we'll put the other sheet on the bit of card. And the way I do this, like getting it lined up is hard. And the way I do this is I peel about 25 or 30 millimeters off the back of the sticker sheet and then gently fold the backing down. I don't fold it down too hard, otherwise it would leave a crease. So you can see it's just got a gentle fold in it. And then I line up the other edge of the sticker that's not sticky yet because it's still got the backing on. You can use this to get your edge really accurately lined up. Then you hold it down with your hand, and then the bit of sticker you've already peeled, you stick to the card. And like if you're making playing cards or tiles, use this method the same both way. Once you've got it stuck down, you slowly peel it off, applying the sticker to the actual base card, the substrate we could call it, I guess. Once again, you use a hand or a roller to go from left to right and press it down, and you end up with like a blank card with your tiles left and right justified on them. Before I do this, I tend to hold it up to a light to make sure the two things are actually lined up, and I make a little mark on the brown card before I start sticking the second sheet on. Then I cut them out. I'm using a rotary cutter for cards, but you don't have to. You can use a knife. Rotary cutters are much better. And I cut long ways along the card first, so that when I cut across the card, the tiles come out in little pieces like that. And this sort of holds everything together until the final cut. The other thing you can use is a guillotine, and for playing cards, I do use the guillotine because it has like a black fence that you can move along here, and you can get your deck of cards pretty damn accurate. I'm just got an old tile here from an initial play test of the game where the tiles are wrong, and I'll just show you how good this guillotine is. These are not expensive, but they're not cheap, and they're definitely an option for this, but I prefer a rotary cutter for tiles. Well, thanks for watching that. I hope you have a crack at making a print and play game at some point. There are loads of them out there on the web. I'll link to my directory down below. But my cup of tea is empty now, and I'll thank you for watching, and stay tuned for more Party Meeple how-to gaming videos from the Party Meeple blog.